and I haven't showed it in the previous episode because I actually started it on Saturday morning and finished it on Saturday afternoon. Good day everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Mariette, also known as the Boervrou, and this is episode 26 of the Crafty Stitches Podcast. Today is Sunday the 11th of December 2022, and I'm coming to you from South Africa. Right, so I think I brought myself a little bit of cold water to drink while I chat with you guys about all of the objects and projects that I'm going to show. And I'm so glad that you are here visiting with me. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back, and if you are new, I hope that you will enjoy this content. Alright, so I'm going to jump straight in. I'm just quickly going to mention what I'm wearing. It is the second Ranunculus that I made with Moya 100% cotton yarn. I will link my Ravelry Project Page below, and then you can have a look at this if you are interested. So I'm not going to talk a lot about it. Anyway, so today I have 3 finished objects and 1 whip to show you. So let's get straight into those. My first finished object for this episode is my granny square pillowcase, which was one of my whip-in projects, one that I wanted to finish in November, but that did not happen. But it is finished now. So I finished the rest of the blocks that I needed to do for this one. And I added this little scalloped edge to it, and I also added some buttons. I didn't really do much, just added buttons so that it can be closed around a pillow. It is just some old buttons that I had in my stash, so that will work great. Nobody's going to look at the buttons. Alright, so this project, I have no idea when I started this, quite a few years ago I guess. I finished it off with a 2.75mm crochet hook, and I turned my blocks after every round so that they don't go wonky. I don't know if you'll be able to see it there. And then I crocheted them together with a join as you go method. So I would make one block, join the other one. When I was making it in the last round, I would join it to the second block, and so forth. So there was no stack of blocks that needed to be joined. It was joined as I went. And then this project was made with Mirage cones, 4-ply 100% acrylic yarn. And I think that is everything for this project. I'm so happy that it is done, and I can actually now use it on a cushion. Right, so that is my first finished object. So let's talk about the second one. So this is actually my last project out of the whip-in. And in my previous episode I have not started it yet, and it is finished. So this is the cowl that I wanted to reknit to make it shaped, because it was just a straight tube. So I did that. Let me show you. So you can see there that there is quite a difference between the top and the bottom, and I'm very happy with how this one came out. I did do this before. This was my first cowl, and then I did a second one which had black fluffy things at the top and bottom, I think at the bottom as well, and I actually gifted that one to my grandmother. And then I made another one in the same yarn, just another colorway, that I actually shaped nicely, and I liked the shape of that a lot. So when I decided to reknit this one, I decided I wanted the same shape as the previous one, because that worked very well for me. So because the first one was too big, I think I had have 10 grams left of this yarn that I had for the previous one. Which I will just throw into my Scrappy projects, which is not a problem. But anyway, so this cowl is made with Pure Gold double knit yarn in the colorway Grizzly, and this is 258 meters on 100 grams, and I did use a 4mm needles to knit this one. I think it's a US 6 needle. Anyway, so there's not really much that I can say about it. I'm very happy that it is done, and as I said, it was the last project out of the Whippen and the project that I wanted to do for December, and it's the 11th and it is finished. Yes, it needs a good wash because it looks like a sock that is knit off a sock blank. The fabric, the stitches is very bumpy and so forth, but it is done and I'm very happy. Right, I think that is everything that I wanted to say for that project. Let me have a sip of water. Feels like I'm flying through this. But yeah, the most things that I have something to say about is my finished objects. Anyway, so the next finished object is one I have been talking about quite a lot, and I haven't showed it in the previous episode because I actually started it on Saturday morning and finished it on Saturday afternoon. So my next finished object is the old Shale lace dishcloth. I have blocked it so that you can see the lace detail nicely. Anyway, so this pattern was gifted to me by the designer, and I'm really enjoyed making this lace pattern. It's a 4-row repeat, I think, and I really enjoyed it. It's quite fun to make, and it is designed for Line Brand Kobu, which is a cotton bamboo blend, but I used the Raisa 100% cotton yarn. It is 100 meters on 50 grams. I have no idea what this colorway is because I'm positive that this ball band is not necessarily this yarn. So anyway, I don't know the colorway, but yeah. Anyway, so I really enjoyed this one. It knit up very quickly. As I said, I am very happy that I could show it on the podcast, because now I've shown it, I can actually go use it and see how I like it and how I like the yarn. The designer did say that she designed it especially with these holes with this lace pattern so that it can dry quickly. She saw my video on the dishcloths where I was saying that some of the yarns, the dishcloth doesn't dry properly, and she said that this one was designed with a lace pattern with that in mind so that it can dry more easily. So I'm looking forward to using this and see how it does. I did not use the recommended yarn, which is a cotton bamboo blend, but I'm anyway looking forward to see how this one works. So I'm very excited about that one. Can never have too many dishcloths in the kitchen, and I love using one. Oh yes, the one thing that I did do for this, I used a 4mm needle as suggested in the pattern, and the pattern suggests that you bind off loosely, and yeah, I don't know, I just did a normal lifted bind off for this one, but I used a 5mm needle as my working needle so that it has looser stitches, but you don't have to keep the stitches loose and have different sized stitches, if that makes sense. So that is a tip that I picked up from watching I'll Knit If I Want To from Andrea Mowry. She always says that if you have to bind off loosely, use a bigger needle, because then you have uniform stitches. So that's what I did for this one. Alrighty, so that is all of my finished objects. I think we can go over to oops. Alright, so I only have one whip to show today, which is a new project that I cast on yesterday. Anyway, so it is socks, or a sock, that I'm keeping the yarn in one of my yarn cake cozies. This is the 100-gram yarn cake cozy made with 100% cotton double knit yarn from Moya, which is a hand-dyed South African yarn, and this colorway is just gorgeous of this yarn that I'm using for the socks. So this yarn that I'm using for the socks is the Regia 4-ply. That is the color number, and this is a 75% virgin wool and 25% polyamide, and it has 420 meters on 100 grams. I am using a 2.25mm 9-inch circular for this. I did do the toe on magic loop with a longer needle, and I am using my own pattern DB toe up socks for this one, and this is knit in the 4th size, which is 68 stitches. Yes, and this yarn is so beautiful. Oh my goodness, just look at this color. I'm in love with this yarn. When I started this sock yesterday, I told my husband I love this yarn. I would make myself a cardigan out of this. And I was looking online and I could not find a single ball in stock anywhere. So yes, anyway, I bought this one at Arthur Bale's when they had their birthday celebration this year. And if I knew that this colorway is so beautiful, I would have really tried to buy more, but it is now out of stock. So I checked a few different online suppliers of Regia, but anyway, can't find any more of this. But I think this is gorgeous. I mean, I did not think that this can make this. I mean, what? I love it. I especially bought this colorway because I wanted to see what it looks like when you have that single strand of blue going through the yarn. And yeah, I love this. The in the online shop you only saw this, a picture of this, and they did not show that picture on the ball band that shows you what the sock would look like. If I saw this, I might have bought more. But this colorway is just gorgeous. I am completely in love with this. I would definitely wear a jersey that looks like this. But yeah, doesn't help to sit and dream about something that you can't have. But this is beautiful. I'm enjoying this yarn and this colorway so much while I am knitting up this sock. Luckily for me, there's going to be 2 socks because you need to, so I can enjoy it a second time when I knit the second sock. So I'm enjoying seeing the colors in the sock. I think it's beautiful and I'm really enjoying this pair. So this sock will be for my husband as December socks. Right, what else can I say about it? I already said the needle size. Yes, I will be knitting this pair of socks for the Sock It To Me Challenge 2022 that is hosted by Linda Simpson Designs and Kim's Crochet and Knits. I know that Linda said that she is going on with it next year. I'm not sure if I'm going to participate next year, but this is still my pair of socks for December and hopefully I can finish them this month. Anyway, so yeah, I'm really enjoying this sock a lot. Alright, let me add a stitch marker to keep my progress, and I'll add my new one that I haven't shown on the podcast before. It is a acquisition, but anyway, so this is a beautiful little birdie that I bought from Annegret from Pincushion Crafts. I mean, just look at that. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I went to the pop-up shop of Naughty Habit at Little Yarn Craft on the 3rd of December, and Annegret was there for the first time with her little stitch markers, and I bought this little birdie from her. And I'm enjoying it a lot. I actually immediately took it off the card and had it on my cowl. So I switched it out, and I think this little birdie is just fitting in right in this color palette of the sock. I think it fits very well. Really enjoying that. Alright, so that is my sock. Let me just put it back in my bag because this is also a walk and knit project, even though it's my only project at the moment, but I am walking and knitting with it as well. Alright, what else is there for whips? So I don't have any other whips at the moment. I was thinking maybe I can ask some advice if you have any for me. I don't usually share my Scrappy projects on the podcast because my friend Leanie from Independence Crochet and I have the Scrappy Sunday chats every month. We don't have one this month. We decided to take December off. But we were talking about the make-along that we are going to host for the next 2 years for the Battenberg blanket. And I joked and said that I might knit mine. So I made a sample in knitting, just show you, of a block knitted from the center out like you would do a hat, and I need some advice. How would you join these blocks together except for sewing them together? I'm not opposed to knitting a block and knitting another one and joining it on, and knitting another one and joining it on, and even eventually joining it at 2 sides. I don't really mind that. I would definitely do that as well. But I was wondering, how would I join these blocks together? I mean, I can even crochet them together, I guess. But if you have any ideas, please send them my way. Leave me a comment down below, send me a DM on Instagram or whatever. I would love to know how you would join these blocks if you don't, but not sew them together by hand. Maybe I can have a plan. I was thinking of even doing like a 3 needle bind off, but that would mean I would need a stitch holder on 3 sides of the block, or 2 sides. No, 3 sides. Well, I don't know. I was just thinking about doing like a 3 needle bind off, and like you would bind off a shoulder seam, but I don't know. Maybe you have better suggestions for me. I would love to know. Anyway, right. So I think that is everything for my active whips. Alright, so my crafting goals for December is going great. I finished the ribbon project of November, which was the granny square cushion cover, and I finished my December ribbon project, and my ribbon is officially empty. There is nothing in it. There is no ribbon project waiting for me to do something with it. It is empty, and I cannot tell you how happy I am about that. But anyway, right, back to crafting goals. So the other thing that I wanted to do is finish a pair of socks, and I'm well on my way doing that. So I will check in with you in the next podcast episode to see how far I came on the goals for December, because there will still be a podcast in this month before we reach the end of the year. So that is all that I have for crafting goals, and I think we can move over to news. Alright, so news for this episode. Last week I shared a little weekend vlog for the 3rd and the 4th of December. I will link it down below for you if you missed that, and if you're interested. I do know that YouTube is a little bit crazy with Vlogmas episodes. So yes, I will link it down below if you maybe missed it, and if you're interested to watch the weekend vlog that I made. Anyway, so as I said in the crafting goals, I have officially finished all of the whips in my whip bin, and I am so happy and so proud of myself for sticking with this goal of finishing all of the whip bin projects this year, so I can start the new year without a single whip lingering in a bin. Isn't that amazing? Alright, so what else is there? There will still be one last podcast for this year in 2 weeks, so I will still see you once more this year, and I am looking forward to the new year. I will be taking a little bit of time off, so that I can rest a little bit, so I'm looking forward to that as well. And as I said, I will see you for another episode this month, so you can look out for that. Alright, what else is there? We had lots of beautiful rain this season so far. I think my husband counted it up, and it was something like 360 millimeters of rain since October. So that is very nice. Everything is nice and green, and yeah, things are growing, and it's really looking very nice out there. The trees are nice and green, and things are flowering, and yeah, weeds are growing, of course, but that is life. Anyway, I think that is everything that I have for you for news. Life's been a little bit crazy, and yeah, I've been battling a little bit with keeping up with Instagram posts and things like that, but you know, it happens. Life can sometimes be very busy. Anyway, so let me do my 2 podcast recommendations for this episode. So this time I am recommending 2 podcasts that is new to me. I have came across them in my YouTube feed. The first one is The Crafting Sparrow. This is Amanda. I've only watched one of her episodes so far. I think it was episode 11, and I enjoyed it a lot, and I thought I will share it with you here. The second one is Marlene's Knitting Podcast. Marlene is from Germany, and I've also watched only one of her episodes, I think episode 1, and I really enjoyed it a lot, and I thought I will share that with you too. And I will link both of these 2 channels down below, and you can have a look at that and see if you enjoy their content too. Right, I think this is going to be a little bit of a shorter episode, or was a little bit of a shorter episode, because I have come to the end of this podcast. And I will be ending the podcast here with my normal comment question. So my comment question for this episode is related to self-striping, variegated or semi-solid yarns. Do you choose a certain yarn for a certain type of project? So say for instance, would you only use self-striping yarns in socks, or you know, that type of thing? And is there maybe one of these 3 that you really love and have to have, or one of them that you really can't stand using? I don't really have any preference on this. I was just thinking about it when I knit the socks and I saw this beautiful colors coming together. I really thought it's going to be like a self-striping type of yarn, because I didn't see the yarn label. I ordered it online, and I was very surprised to see what it looks like at the end of the day. It is beautiful, and that made me think and wonder if you have any preference. I remember when I dipped my little toe into yarn dyeing a little bit with natural products. I was sending my friend Leanie a picture of the yarn that I dyed with avocado pips, and it came out like a gold color, and she said she thought that it makes pink, and I was like, I don't really care what color it comes out, as long as it comes out another color as that it went in to the pot. I didn't really have any expectations on what color is going to come out of the pot, but any color is good other than the color that it went in. So that was very fun. Anyway, so I hope that you enjoyed this episode, and if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see any more of my content. And I will see you in the next one. Until next time, happy crafting. Bye.